Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. In this video I'm going to talk about the nonsense. Uh, this is geared towards especially evolution. And before these, some of these other people that have actually trolled and ridiculed my older videos that actually I wish I could have done better. The ones that have a stick up their ass and assume that I'm on the side of religion, and I actually piss a little bit of everybody off. But I'm telling you that the nonsense on both sides, the radical religious side, and love to piss off the people that say certain physical fitness, anything that even remotely looks like yoga is some big sin and you're going to go to hell and all that shit. I like to make fun of them. So you're on their side. They're calling for thought police, but then the people that are totally against religion on YouTube and on evolution, oh, they got their side. The way to deal with thought police to call for another type of thought police? Really? I mean, in that respect, I'm gonna say in this video about the boring ass talking about how great Dawkins is. I make fun of the Aleister Crowley crowd too. And I'm introducing my teaching of yes, it's a revolution. I'm in a way starting a revolution in my own world, but the better way to see evolution. I don't got to give a fuck about people's Dawkins or Darwin or whatever. I've seen some of the documentaries on some theories, you know what I mean too, but more boring ass shit that whether you're the religious fanatic or you're the extreme other side, you know. Both sides are sitting on their ass in a computer getting views on YouTube or whatever. Both worthless beliefs when they're taught to the extreme because, I mean, you can talk raw articulately, no different than the narcissistic preacher on TV. You get one or two of each race, both black or white, you might like is one. There's one of each you might kind of like a little bit. You might be saying, you know, even though you're not a religious fanatic, you might be saying, when they're talking about the way the world is, you might be like, yep, he nailed that one, you know. Or you get one of each that are just yell a bunch of shit and then just show off of how they pray in tongues, that bunch of damn jibber jabber. And with their narcissistic posture and stances, or you'll get freaking John Hagee that with his steel voice and whistles when he talks, and then his son Matt Hagee talking about one time I saw on a channel he's talking about how people in fucking Europe there's a low birth rate. Like, you fucking moron. Then there's an overpopulation. People in certain climates, you know, you're lucky they have enough of water and they can't grow shit. And then everybody's breeding victims, whether it's unwittingly or intentionally or different kind of reasons. Some that ain't people's, and not people's fault, I don't know. And then there's less ways to keep up with feeding these people, even if you wanted to feed. But anyway, I don't want to go on and on about that. But people will talk this moronic shit like you're on this earth to reproduce if you're a guy or a girl. And my whole stuff is geared against rebelling against that you can be a guy or a girl, or if you're in a good relationship and all that and have a kid, fine, that's awesome, you know, you do it the right way. But teach your kids to be strong and smart, because this world is kind of could be going downhill in a lot of ways. But anyway, but then the worthless evolution, you're going to rebel against your mommy and daddy and sit in your room, or whether it's your saying hail to the daddy, the be so in awe about the evolution crowd, Darwin and Dawkins. And then once you know all that shit, you know, yawn, 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 boring ass shit. Or if you're going to go the other way and rebel against Aleister Crowley, you know, I mean, and I've kept in mind, and I said videos too, that the things that I'm advocating against that type of laziness too. I also say keep in mind that just because you do it, you're not the beast or the master Therion or whatever the fuck you call it. But then I say that's the downfall of Aleister Crowley. He was never the. Nobody can say they are, because there's always going to be, just like dovetails into evolution. You get these. You got to observe how these every single creature, everything to your beloved pets and your different animals. They can be really nice, but yet they can be in our state of being feral, just like humans. Downright nasty, and they'll tear you the hell up from your small dog. You know, it can be that little yipper that'll little sharp teeth rip a chunk out of your leg. You know, like somebody's house, that dog, somebody's little dog doesn't like you. You can get this big Rottweiler pit bull that's like a big baby, and then yet you get ones that for no fucking reason at all they'll attack people too, do shit to other people for no fucking reason at all. You got to observe that what a really evil beast is, and a beast is always naturally evil. But I say I don't want to go on and on about that. It dovetails in evolution, but I'm getting into something, talking about another video how I debunk the Aleister Crowley shit. It's instead of talking about that shit and acting like it's so great, you gotta, you know what I mean, observe things really well, you know, and realize you don't need that shit. With evolution, it's the same thing, but instead of the fucking boring ass, oh, a monkey, the evolutionary ladder, how we evolved into monkeys, I'd rather change it. There's a point to where you can alter it a little bit, or instead of a Chinese zodiac, instead of using it for a zodiac, use it for an evolutionary wheel, what animal you want to be. So my thing more like is an alternative to all of that, and it's actually useful. And I pissed some guy off saying some stupid guy in England. You saw he had a picture of himself on here, his lazy ass, his flabby ass arms, and just some T-shirt or whatever. George, oh, so you're against Crowley and he's a diehard atheist evolutionist. It's like, and he's like, what the hell your silly exercise have to do with anything? And then kind of made, I kind of forget what the hell I said to piss him off. And then, but anyway, this is a bunch of time ago. But anyway, when you tell any side the truth and introduce any new ideas, even though they're not so new at all, you're just reintroducing some better ideas. Then I'm telling you, if you got this far in this video, I'm saying, what the fuck difference is evolution or some kind of teacher, some kind of narcissistic preacher? They both seem to want to limit you. The one side says, oh, we're already evolved and superior, so we can sit on our fucking computers, wear t-shirts and shorts, with skinny arms, or t-shirts and shorts, or some big belly and t-shirts and shorts, you know, have a bag of weed by you and a 40-ounce beer, and maybe engage in the patronize the fucking people that go to college that worship fucking Che Guevara, which some fucking revolutionary. It's a thing to put in place another thought police. Yeah, have a revolution against the thought police to establish your thought police. That's what everybody wants to see. Yeah, the religious fanatic side, except if you're an athletic Christian, it can go a little bit either way, and you might have some people who are Christian that engage in some kind of martial art or some flexibility, think a little bit of everything. If you're you want to do the Krav Maga thing, and you're religious, say what Lichtenfeld taught the Jews, which if you want to talk about what Lichtenfeld, introduced the Jews, say certain things like that, you can say, well, what the fuck is these other teachings on YouTube trying to suppress everybody physically and mentally? I mean, you get a bunch of losers that want to decide to advocate religion, so you got to make them, you got to find a way to use scripture to belittle somebody, okay, and say you certain things you do, anything that looks like yoga physically, is wrong. Because if you find your own way in something, they can't look in all on you. You're just some damn wannabe loser on fucking YouTube teaching people paranoia. That's one of the reasons why I kind of put with some of my videos Motorhead back mask, because the flipping of the bird to these some people. And you guys listen to Motorhead, you know what actually that back mask thing. That's why people say that's so satanic, and it's not satanic, because you know he's actually saying when that's back masked. That one Motorhead song, Nightmare Dream. I don't subscribe to your narrow-minded paranoia and all that stuff. I just love that, you know. So then you got the evolution side. Oh yeah, you're already evolved. So yeah, we evolved up to what we are now. A bunch of people, whether you drink or smoke weed a little bit or a lot, and then the rest of your time, yeah, you work some shit job, which a lot of us do. You know, some of us had better paying jobs, and now we got shit jobs because of whatever reason. Or then you, for a while, you get, yeah, it depends, you know, how financially we are. But yeah, I kind of made fun of some places I used to work too. I used to got harassed for some of the things that I'd say, and I'd quote the late George Carlin and all that stuff too. But then I use in my own way. Oh, we're meant to just sit there with skinny arms or big bellies or whatever we are, and we're just that. We're there to bust our ass at some job. That's evolution too. You get a certain age and you're just that. You know, you're an obedient worker, and you get nice and exhausted, and you do that till you retire, and then you ruin your body or whatever the hell too. Or put under pressure because they want you to, not because you want to have kids in a good way, they want you to be held hostage. But whether you got people that run the companies where you work, the work farm or whatever too, whether they have the virtues of telling you what you shouldn't physically do, what it's a bad behavior, is a secular moralist humanist type of daddy and make everything a moral issue that way, or whether they're kind of on the religious side and say that you should just bust your ass, go to church, have your nose buried in the Bible, big belly, your skinny arms, whether you're dressed a certain way, you're going balding and you're wearing that collared short sleeve shirt, or old man and that big belly, and you walk like this. Anything else you do is since you're not in high school anymore and do any fitness to practice wink sports like you're supposed to, and you're not like a kid in the playground. There's certain things that just a bunch of shit on TV you shouldn't be doing. You should have your nose buried in the Bible. Don't get strong or smart because it's challenging and confrontational to our authority. Then when you're physically then if you're physically strong any kind of a way on either side, especially the way I am introducing it, you don't have to listen to any particular side. You kind of retool it in a practical way, whether it's on the streets or out there in the religious fanatic world, or there's a thing about you're being smart. You can either get beat up for that, you can get thrown in. Somebody can have you thrown in jail. You know, one side it's like, oh, you're either going to go to hell, and then, of course, God is first, but 911 is second. You know, we can speak to you, talk down to you any way you want. And times when, you know, the older Catholics and some Christians, you know, they were throwing kids in mental hospitals too. If they wanted to get strong and smart, find out you're getting physically fit, standing right up, you're not getting less afraid of being slapped around if they know that you're outspoken and you're not afraid of being slapped around as much. All of a sudden, before you get of age, you know, over 18, and you get strong and smart, they used to put you in those mental hospitals before they started getting rid of all those mental hospitals. You know. Yeah, that's what they were really designed for. Like, you know, Dixmont, that used to be, the building ain't standing anymore, which is about maybe, I don't know, 10 miles or so from where I live here, you know. But And the reason I bring that up is that was a way of what you were threatened with, too. There was the a in some cases a silent inquisition going on there, even though in the 60s people were getting free or smoking more marijuana, doing psychedelic drugs, and drinking more and doing this and that. There was a discreet inquisition going on. A little bit of them were thrown in mental hospitals, or you challenged the authority. Or people try to threaten you with different ways with that. Now they want to medicate everybody. Whether you're on the religious side or the non-religious side, they want you to do as many drugs as possible, whether it's a legalized pot or both sides. If you rebel against our thought, police our ways, you better be taken. Both of them advocate meds in a way. Some of the people on the secular side or religious side, they can be set against medicating anybody too, which is for good reason. But you got to beware of anybody either on the secular side or the religious side that if you don't obey their beliefs, they want to call it bad behavior and suggest that you should be on meds or something. You know what I mean? But I don't know. The authority of the evolution side, it's totally ass useless. Just a bunch of more jibber jabber. You no different than listening to some asshole on TV showing off that he can speak in tongues and all that crap. You just a bunch of it's like and the only real solution is to actually get out there and do something, because we all should agree that we have a decline in anything financially, and the whole collapse of this world, even if it's a partial collapse, or even if you don't have a total collapse, any kind of shit, when the fucking internet actually collapses for a while, people don't know what the fuck to do, but you feel sorry for most on it. But you can feel sorry for people on a little bit of every side, even the ones that you start hating their guts because they hate your guts. You might feel sorry for them in the end because they start where some of the older ones already now are actually starting to actually have problems with mobility, whether it's hip trouble or whatever the hell else. But in the long run, we can all agree that this mortal existence is corrupt. Some of us live longer without anything, our hips and our bodies going out on us, and some of us are born with birth defects. And shit happens. I mean, what can you say?